All right, good afternoon and blessings out there, everybody. It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, super excited to be talking to you today. The presentation that we're doing, I'm coming to you from the grand old city of Memphis, Tennessee. Again, as a lot of you may know, we've recently partnered and got us an office space here in the grand old city of Memphis, Tennessee, because we want to make sure that we can bring those products and services that help you build generational wealth. We just don't want to keep it over in the metropolitan city of Covington, but we definitely want to be able to support our friends, family, loved ones, and clients here in the metropolitan city of Memphis as well. So listen, I'm super excited because today I'm going to introduce you all to a lady whom gained great respect for in a short amount of time. This young lady is somebody that's serious about business. She's serious about helping families save, grow, and make money. Since we've connected, there's always been a brother sister type love, brother sister type respect. And I'm just super excited to have her on. And y'all know how I am. I love being around good people. I love when I see someone who's successful, who defies the norm. I love talking to them because, again, all it takes sometimes is just one spark. All some people need to hear is one spark and see someone else did it. You know what? I can do the exact same thing. So it's my pleasure and my privilege to introduce to you one of my sideline, one of my peers, a lady that I respect very highly. I call her my little big sis because, even though she's short in stature, she's big when it comes to her presence. So I want to introduce to everybody out there, lady, Miss Tequila Woodbine, the CEO of the Money Medics here in Memphis, Tennessee. Can you hear me there, Tequila? You're muted. You're muted.
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. So how you doing today?
I am doing incredible, and thank you for that introduction. You my guy. We clicked
Yeah,
right away. Definitely love being in business with a like-minded person such as yourself that genuinely cares about the community. So that's why we're here today, because we care about our community, correct?
exactly right. Yeah, real recognize real, and we used to say back in the day, real recognize real. So
Better
listen,
know
so won't
it.
you do me a favor? So why don't you go ahead and tell folk a little bit about yourself? So tell us your backstory. We'll talk about the business later, but tell us who Tequila Woodbine is.
Wow. Okay. Well, Tequila Woodbine. I'm actually a mother of three grown sons. I am a wife of 20 years. I am a big sister. I have 21 siblings between my mother and my father. I'm the second oldest on my dad's side, and I'm the oldest on my mom, who has 15 children.
Wow.
Um, I actually had 19 years of healthcare experience
Mhm.
working inside of the Methodist health system located here in Memphis, Tennessee, the Baptist health system as well. I've managed clinics. I've been over internship programs at the hospital. I did a lot of work when it came to COVID. I was in the emergency room during COVID. And hey, just got a wealth of knowledge. And I really do believe in helping people. Have a lot of programs that I started within the community to help special needs children and adults as well. They're still going strong. So I'm all about the betterment and helping of our people, especially through financial literacy.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so again, I know, but I want the other people to know. You said that, when you were with the healthcare industry, you made a decision to walk away from a position that a lot of people will cut their arms off for. They'll push their mama in front of a train for, but you walked away from that type of position. So talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, you know what? I love healthcare. It's funny, when I was younger, I never in a million years thought I would be in healthcare, and healthcare actually chose me. I got in, I started out frontline working in the ER as an emergency department tech, which is a paramedic or a EMT that works alongside a nurse and a physician. And so they made the COVID vaccine mandatory during the Methodist system, and they started with management first. So when they made it mandatory, I had took a leave of absence for about 3 weeks during COVID. And when I came back, it was the deadline day to get that vaccine. So I was told by the CFO who I reported to that I had less than 24 hours to decide whether I was going to take the vaccine or not. And it was a no-brainer for me. I instantly told him, you know what, today will be my last day. Thank you for the opportunity. And I walked away and I left the job. Right. But here's the thing. I had already started business, a part-time business somewhere else. So it was not a problem for me. I was actually making more money in my part-time business than I was working 50, 60 hours a week being on call. Because when you in management, guess what? Especially in the hospital never closed. Rain, sleet, snow, 24 hours. When people call in, you guess who got to report to work? You. And so I had been working 60 hours a week. And I said, you know what? I don't want to work for an organization, number one, that will give me the ultimatum when I've been there, been to work, reported to work, whenever you need me, never showed, never not called in. And this is how you're going to treat me. Because guess what? He who controls your income controls you. And so I wanted more control of me and my time. So I walked away. Was I afraid? Of course. I had been in healthcare for 19 years, but I wasn't too scared to make that decision, because they said scared money don't make money, right?
That's what they say.
Yes. And I've been doing this now full time for 3 years. The best choice of my life, the best decision outside of being a mom and being a wife that I ever made was to become my own boss.
Wow. So let's talk about that, right? Because I want to make sure I'm hearing you. And we've titled this actual session the taste of success, right? Because I believe that success is a journey, not a destination. That's what I believe. I believe that there's a certain point in time where you attain a certain level. But if that's all you wanted, then was it really successful, right? Because, I mean, you look at people like Michael Jordan, right? He was successful, and the measure of success was a ring, right? You get the ring, that's a measure of success. But he wasn't satisfied just there, right? There were other milestones that he wanted to accomplish. And again, when you hear about him and the things that he said and the mindset that Kobe had, the Mamba mentality, they were wired a bit different. It wasn't so much about the rings. The rings were maybe an external measure of success. But I remember in the book, Relentless, he talked about how they wanted to be feared, right? Yeah. They wanted to be feared. And so that's another level of success that rings don't equate to. And so with that being said, it would seem as if you made it. You had success. You were running a hospital, right? So, but you walked away from it. Talk to us about that. And again, I know the reason why you walked away from it, but talk to me about how, when, again, you had what most people would want, what most people go to school for. They're like, man, this is it. I finally made it. I've arrived. You walked away from that. Obviously, I know you love doing it because you started off by saying healthcare is you and all this. But how were you able to do that? Talk to us about that.
And it's funny what you say success is, right? How you measure success. Everybody's definition is different. But for me, all right, for me is being in control of your time. Okay. I was not in control of my time. I missed out on a lot. I wish I would have done this when my children were younger. They're grown now. I missed out on a lot of important events with my family and with my children. That's not success. So your children is the only person, and your family, your spouse is the only person going to remember that you work 50 hours a week, that you worked on holidays, right? They're the only ones that are going to remember. Even the people that you reported to, they're not going to even remember that, right? So that was not success. I wanted to be able to leave generational wealth to my family. You cannot leave a job, no matter how good or how many years I work, and no matter if they donate a hallway in your name or a little plaque says you were here, you cannot donate a job to your family. But you can give a business to your family, right? Okay. Right. So that wasn't my definition of success. Sometimes people can be delusional, or they can actually make you feel like you're successful, but you're not. If you're not in control of your time, right? Because wealth is really not money, it's time.
Exactly right.
That's
Right.
time. If you don't believe me, if you had someone that you love pass away, you will pay however much money you can to have those last 5 minutes to be able to talk to them again. That
Right.
shows you that wealth is not money. Wealth
Right.
is being in control of your time. So I wanted to be in control of my time. I gave that hospital the best years of my life, right? And what did I have to show for it? Just to say that I was a manager or a director for a hospital. That's
Right.
it. All I can say, I was there, right?
Yeah.
So that's the type of success. I wanted real success. I didn't want it to be an illusion,
Mhm.
right? I wanted to be in control. When you work for someone, no matter if they do call you a boss, if you report to someone else, you're not a real boss,
Mhm.
right? Somebody can come in there and tell you your service is no longer needed. And I wanted safety, I wanted a peace of mind to know that nobody can come in and take away my livelihood. So that's why it was a no-brainer for me. And not only that, success is measured on how many people around you are successful. So if you're the only one that's the boss, right, and you're the only one making money, news flash, you're not successful.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. So I wanted to be around others and help them to fire their job, to be in control of their time, to be able to leave a legacy, not a job, right? They throw you over. Listen, when I was working there, this is one thing, the light bulb came on. So when I was working at Methodist, I had this young lady that was working there for over 40 years.
Mm.
Administration didn't even approve to have her retirement party, right? I had just got there. I had to throw her retirement party out of my pocket. So that shows me that they're not loyal and they don't care. So
Mm.
they didn't want to throw this young lady a retirement party. If you really go ask, especially if you work in the hospital, right? If they do have a retirement party, your boss is the one that paid for it, not even the organization. Your boss probably didn't even work with you that whole time. So I knew, I want to be around people that care about me.
Wow. That's interesting, right? That's interesting because you see where people and I'm gonna gravitate towards entrepreneurship, but I'm really what I love doing, I love exploring the mindset so that someone could actually look and say, okay, I understand that mindset, or I have that mindset right now. So you said your time is most precious, but we're often taught that the sacrifice of time is what is going to cause you to be successful, right? So, in so many ways, what I'm hearing you say, even though in that 19 years you amassed that rank, you had that title, you don't feel like it was really success because it all came down to whether or not you were going to take that shot or not.
Exactly. Now, one way I could say, I will say is successful is the people that I met while
Absolutely.
on that journey, right?
Absolutely.
The people that I met on that journey, the people that reported to me, the people that I used to work with, we're still really good friends now, right?
Yeah.
So that's a level of success. But them 19 years are they paying off now? Right. Right. I guess you could say, yeah, because I was able to buy assets, and some people are not financially savvy to know what assets to buy that'll work for you, right?
Right.
So otherwise, no.
Yeah.
It didn't guarantee me lifetime income. It didn't guarantee me to be always to be in control of my time. So, but other than that, I gained some experience. I would
Right.
definitely would say that.
Right.
Shouts out to the local hospitals here in Memphis, Tennessee, because I've learned a lot. When
Right.
you have people that are smarter than you report to you, I had doctors, surgeons, nurses, nurse practitioners that reported to me, and of course, they was in school. Now, they was in school, they got their degree. That doesn't necessarily mean they were smarter than me. They may have been a little bit book smart, right?
Right.
But they had a higher level of education, I should say.
Right.
So I got to meet with those people. So that's the success that I got outside of there. I got to save lives, touch lives, and create bonds and memories with some really great people.
Right. Right. And again, that's amazing. You'll often hear me say that the greatest resource are people. People
Mhm.
are the greatest resource because with people, you have an unlimited amount of return on investment, right? You find the right person, you help motivate that right person. The return on investment is endless, right?
Mhm.
So there it is. You've made the decision, right? No, I ain't finna do this. So how? as a mother, as a wife, as a director in the healthcare industry. Now, how in the world did you find time to get a part-time business or start a business for yourself? Talk to us about that.
Man, so this great, incredible industry that I'm in, to be honest, it was successful, and I was spending less than 10 hours to even get inside of this business. So how the business model is set up, it's designed for busy people. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
It's designed for busy people. And so I was able to leverage business partners. So this one great thing I love about this industry, you do have other business partners that are in business with you, that when you're not able to show up or to run an appointment, they'll do it for you.
That's right.
So it was easy for me to find the time. And then I would educate myself during my car, my ride in my car, going back and forth to work, back and forth to the grocery store, to the doctor's office, dropping my children off at work or dropping them off at their game or things like that. That's how I found my study time. All right.
Mhm.
So instead of me listening to music or scrolling on social media, I took that time to personal develop.
That's
All
right.
right. To learn. So everybody has 24 hours within a day. It's how you spend your 24 hours. It's funny when I hear people say, I don't have time. You do. You do. Let's look at your phone and see how much time that you spend on this social media, right?
Exactly
Or
right.
you have it in your hand. So if we just eliminate one bad habit, right,
Mhm.
we can make time. We
Okay.
can make time. So it was fairly easy. And I was going through a lot when I started my business as well. So we make time for things that we really care about and want that's important to us. So that's how I was able to make time. Leveraging other people, right? Leveraging my business partners. So
Right. So, and that's phenomenal because when you think about that, right? A lot of the times when you think about business, you think about dog eat dog, right? You think about, if I don't do it, somebody gonna get me, and then I'm gonna be left out in the cold. But it is amazing, and again, like I said, that's why I appreciate our relationship, right? Because it's amazing to know that you have someone who will, in fact, make sure that they will have the same standard of care for your clients as they would their own. So I think that's an amazing thing about this business. So let's transition once more. So, what was the first point of success within this financial industry where you said, "I think I got this"? Yeah, I think I got this. So what did that look like to Tequila?
well, here's one. It's so many moments that I had there, but I'll tell you about the first one. When I was able to bring home over $4,000 on a consistent basis, and I didn't sit down with a client at all. So
Okay.
when that money was hitting my bank account, and I was like, "Oh man, this real." Then that 4,000 turned into 5,000. Then it turned to 10,000.
Mhm.
15 is gonna go even 20, 30, 40,000. That's
Mhm.
why I was like, "Okay, I got this. I got this." I made within 10 months. I made over $50,000 within 10 months, and I didn't even sit down and help clients. So that's when I knew I was on to something. And not only that, I walked away feeling good because I was able to help someone,
That's
right?
right.
I was
That's
like,
right.
man, I got this. I really got this.
That's right.
So that was that moment, when and I'm talking about hitting my bank account type
Yeah.
money. I
Yeah.
ain't talking
Yeah.
about I ain't talking about projected. I'm talking about that actually hit my bank account. And that's when I knew I could really do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's that cash in my
sweet
hand,
cheese.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah. No, and
Yes.
again, I agree 100% with you. A lot of people don't understand that even with myself. So I've been in the business 3 years myself.
Hmm.
And I remember I got started during the pandemic.
Hmm.
And, I had worked with another company when I first got out of the military. Uh,
Mm.
I won't call their name, but it starts with Pride Ends America. Um, And I used to have to go into folk homes and stuff like this. And one of the things about me is that when I commit to something, I'm committed, right? I'm laser focused because I count up the cost. I'm like, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I can see myself doing? And so when I got introduced to this business, it was during the pandemic. And I remember, I mean, I'll just never forget that I saw people um, like that were just not making good financial decisions. I mean, you see people going to the check cashing places and all that when they would go buy them tax time cards from It's All Good. You know what I mean? I don't care about your credit. I care about you. Turn down for what? You know what I mean? They paying 30% interest rate. You know what I mean? People make those bad decisions. But what was for me um, was when I saw people literally pulling their 401ks out, money that it took them 20, 30 years to make. And they started using that money right now. It's like they weren't thinking about future self. They weren't thinking about what I'm gonna need on the back end. They were just like, well, let me take this trip, or let me buy this PlayStation. You know what I mean? Let me do this, that, and the other. And so when I saw that, I was like, man, that's all bad. And so when I got connected with this business, I said, this is the answer. You get what I'm saying? This is the answer. This is the answer that is going to really, really help people really in poverty. And that's where the name Generational Wealth Builders came from, because it's not so much about you. I think about people like the Rockefellers, the Fords, the Waltons, all of these families that if you look around, they're not doing anything today, but they're wealthy. Their name holds weight. And so my thing has always been, what can I do to learn how to make sure that that happens for the Hickman household? And not the Hickman household, but everyone in my community. Because again, one of the things that used to happen back in the day was if you got in the community and you knew something was good, you shared it with everybody in the community. So that's how Generational Wealth Builders was born, because we saw that opportunity to be able to help families. And I remember when I closed my first deal, I remember how good it felt. I remember how I cried because I was like, man, I can do this, man. And there have been ups and downs, but I just remember, just having that first taste of success. So now you fast forward a little over 3 years now. We have an office in Covington. We have an office in Memphis. Have other brokers about to pop out in other states. We got Richard and Lamisha Hughes down in Port St. Lucie, Florida. We got Frida Martin and Justina Walker. They're down there in Jessup, Georgia. Just again, agents all over. I got a Devin Powell who's right there at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Again, so we have brokers. I mean, junior brokers, upcoming brokers now that are they've tasted the same thing that I have. But again, for me, even though I see all that, I'm not satisfied. Does that make sense? So talk to me about that, because I know you have a large team as well. The money medics are steadily growing and one of the fastest growing in this office for sure. Talk to me about that whole taste of success. Like, now that you've experienced that, what's the next level for you? What's the next? That's good, but I got to get more. What's that for you?
You know what? I said this before, because we just need more people out here educating our community. So I was reading a study the other day that says it's projected in 2053, the average wealth for African American household will be zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yeah. Big time.
So that's why I am on a crusade, because majority of the people don't know this. They can tell you about what's going on Love and Hip Hop, what's going on with these celebrities. They keep you entertained and not educated for a reason, but they don't know what is projected for us, right? And the reason why is that is because we lack the knowledge of financial literacy. In our community, we lack life insurance. Life insurance is the most affordable way to leave wealth.
Exactly right.
To your family, right? And then we lack the understanding of how to grow money, save money, make money work for us.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
right.
so my goal is to go out there and teach and help as many people that will listen. I said the other day, I was in a home, I said, I kind of feel like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King.
Right.
Because what Moses say, she would have saved so many more slaves, but they didn't even know they were slaves. A lot of us don't even know
Exactly
what's
right.
going on.
Oh my God. Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? They don't know what's going on. So that's why we're meeting in people's houses. We're meeting at the church. We're meeting at our office to educate our community about how to make good financial decisions and let them know you're in danger. If you do not understand financial literacy, make good spending habits, and actually being able to invest and grow your money, your generation is going to be poor because of you didn't make the right decisions, right?
Exactly.
2053, that's not long from now.
No.
That's not long. That's about 30 years, right?
Yep.
I'll still be here. I'll be old, but I'll still be here, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that my generation to come are taken care of, not only my family, but your family
That's
and
right.
anybody that's connected to me, right?
That's,
Because it's very simple decisions that we make on a daily basis can help us
that's right.
create a legacy for our family. While
Exactly.
other generations are thinking for years to come,
Yep.
our generation still trying to survive.
Yep.
They still trying to figure out, how can I pay my light bill?
Yep.
How can I, and I'm talking about people that are making over $250,000 because they don't know what to do with their money.
Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why I'm growing a big team. That's why you're gonna always hear me talk about the crusade here about entrepreneurship, because you cannot save enough money.
That's right. That's right.
You need more income.
That's right. That's right.
All right. And it's not going to be picking up a second job.
That's right.
Right. That's not going to work. You need your money to make money when you sleep. Right. And so that's why I'm on a journey to find other like-minded people such as myself and yourself that really care about their community and that's not waiting for nobody to come save them, because nobody's coming to save you, brother or sister. Have you been saved yet? You better save yourself. Not only that, you better save your family, right? So I'm looking for leaders, not leaders. We need more leaders.
That's right.
That are fearless.
Yes.
That's willing to do the work.
That's right.
To save our community. Because I'm not looking for the government to come save my community. I don't want your help.
That's right.
Because I got to abide by your rules.
Right.
I'm smart enough to do it myself. If I can run a hospital, I can run my own business.
Well.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
My own business. So that's why I started there, to get the teaching, to learning, because they thought they was using me. I was using you at the same time.
Exactly right.
The experience that I need to be able to lead a team.
That's right.
To be able to learn that leadership development, to be a leader, to talk the talk, walk the walk, to know how to look at a financial statement and know what needs to be done, to learn how to speak life into people.
That's right.
To encourage people, right? So I got that. The success that I got from the job is not money. It's the life lessons that I learned, right? Yeah. And so I'm on a journey to help, and I'm going to keep fighting to the day I leave this earth. I got a lot of more years in me.
Well,
right? And I'm looking for a lot of more people, because it's something I can't do alone. It takes a team to do it.
Exactly right. So you brought up something so key about cultures. So I remember I traveled to Florida, and this was once I traveled to Florida with one of my agents. Again, it was Richard and Lamisha Hughes. And they ended up hosting an event at the DoubleTree down in Pensacola Beach, Florida. Yeah. And I'll never forget this. I came downstairs and I was going to the conference room that they had, but I went the other way. And I remember seeing a room that they had almost had set up, and it was for a young lady's 16th birthday. And they had, you know how they normally have the conference room side by side. Well, the parents had rented all three conference rooms, right? All three conference rooms. The DJ was in there. He was getting ready to go. All the tables were there.
Mm-hmm.
But in the corner of the room, there was a brand new, listen to me, brand new 2000, I think it was 22 or 23 it was 22 or 23, I'm sorry, a
Mm-hmm.
2023 Mercedes E.
Wow.
And I'm like, you giving this to a 16-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because of what you just said. We feel like somebody gonna come save us. Nobody's gonna come save you. But let's look at the cultural difference. Those parents made investments to say, you know what? When baby girl turns 16, we want her to be able to have a Mercedes, because what it does is it's a conditioning factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found that out. Now I hear people say all the time, man, a car is just a car. That's to somebody who does not
Mm-hmm.
have a nice car. So when I travel, I used to think, I remember I used to think like this, man, I ain't finna rent no car and pay no whole lot of money for no rental car. That ain't mine. But I've come to understand, because I drive a Benz, I drive an Audi, I have a Tahoe. I said, you know what? I ain't finna come and get in no little, Hyundai nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I ain't
Yeah.
finna do, because I become accustomed. And I'm saying that to say that when you've had that taste of success,
Mm-hmm.
it has a way of causing you to create standards, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of why I brought this up, because what they're showing their baby is, baby girl, at 16, this is your first car, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the standard. Child almighty. And here's the thing. I remember watching as kids were coming there, they were dressed up, they had on prom gowns, now one of them was sagging, now one of them was doing this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? But when they came in respectable, presentable, and
Mm-hmm.
watch this, they all had envelopes.
Mm.
We're the we're one of the few communities where a joker will come to a Sweet 16 party and won't bring nothing.
Empty-handed. Empty-handed.
They'll come eat up all your hot wings and everything, and you spend all this money entertaining, and your child gets nothing in return. And
Yeah.
so we've got to change that mentality. And I'm glad you brought up that about that culture, because I think at some
Mm-hmm.
point in time we have to ask ourselves a question and say, listen, bro, we've got to actually change. So my last question, and I'll let you go because I know your time is very, very vital. So let me ask you this question. What would be your parting message to someone who says, I hear what y'all saying. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think I can do it. I don't think that I don't have that taste for success, because in my life, I've always lost. I've always been on the downside of things. What would be your parting message to someone to say, hey, bro, and I flip it over to you?
You know what? It's whether you believe it or not, you're right. Because
Yeah,
whatever you tell yourself is more important than what I'm going to tell you. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So the thing of it is, in our community, we have a tendency, and not just even in our community, people have a tendency to think I can't do this. Well, you're right, because that's
Yeah,
what you tell yourself. But
that's
if
right.
you keep telling yourself that I can do this,
Right.
I'm a product of that, being the oldest of so many children, right? I didn't get that one-on-one relationship with my parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, hey, I got this. So I had to encourage myself. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
had to tell myself, you can do this. I used to do, if you guys like Insecure with Issa Rae, how she would get in the mirror and like, girl, you got this.
Right.
You're gonna be this. That was me.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it starts with in the mind, in your mindset, right? Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right.
Yep.
So let's start speaking positive to ourselves, right?
Okay.
Loving ourselves unconditionally. And this is for a whole nother topic that ties into the food that you eat too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's, like I said, that's a whole nother podcast, right?
Yep.
But you can do it. And just like that young lady that got that Mercedes Benz, I'm sure her parent, just think about if your parent or if you would have put away $50 a month for the rest of your life, you'll be
Mhm.
able to afford something like that as well.
Exactly right.
It's just being a good steward of finances and knowing some you don't know what you don't know. And that's why what we do is so important. And that's why we're spreading the crusade, because at one point in time, I get clients or get agents that say, "Hey, Tequila, I can't do it." Yes, you can.
That's right.
You gotta change your mindset. Yes, you can. You can do anything that you put your mind to it.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
And
right.
so it's time to speak positive, speak life into yourself. If you don't have nobody speaking positive to yourself, you speak it to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself you can do this,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Because you got to speak life into yourself. You got to be your own biggest cheerleader.
That's right.
Right.
That's
You
right.
you got to be your own biggest cheerleader, and it all starts in the mindset,
That's
right? And how you change that, then you start reading books.
exactly.
Then you start having positive affirmation. Then you get around other positive people. They say if you be around 5 millionaires, you're gonna end up being a six. If you be
Exactly.
around 5 broke people, you're gonna end up being a six one too,
That's
right?
that's right.
So it's all about who you hang out with, the words that you're speaking to yourself that are coming out your mouth, and being more positive, right?
Exactly.
Be more positive. So speaking life into yourself.
Exactly right. I think that's phenomenal. I'll just say this, and thank you for your time. But there's also that adage that says, you may not have the faith in you right now, but borrow the faith of somebody else, right?
That's
So again,
right.
you've got to get around people that are going in the direction that you want to go. And so again, I appreciate your time, Lady Woodbine. Y'all tell us where they can find you at on social media.
Oh, thank you for doing that. So on Facebook is
Hmm.
Tequila Woodbine.
Hmm.
On Instagram is the Money Medic One. The
Okay.
Money Medic One.
Well,
Okay. You can
yeah.
find me there as well. And then I am also on LinkedIn under Tequila Woodbine as well. Go like and share. Got some positive information, really good content. You guys, if I did it, you can do it too. Right?
Right.
If I did it, you can do it too. So follow me, I'll follow you back. And again, thank you so much, Rod. I appreciate this. I'm so glad to be sidelining in business with you as well, being on this journey and this crusade.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for us to do some big things, help a lot of families, help other people be able to fire their job and create more income as well. So thank you so much.
No, I'm so glad to be here. And that's why I really wanted you to be on here because, again, I want y'all to know out there, again, it's not just me. It's bigger than myself. It's bigger than Tequila. Again, this is just one of my sidelines, right? Again, and again, when you get with a network of people that are overcomers, people that overcame their past, people that overcame hard times. She didn't even get into all of that. And again, like I say, and I respect that, right? But again, that's for another time because we're gonna get it up out of her, right? But I want you to understand that again, if you get with overcomers, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna overcome. If you get with people that have beat the odds, if you get with people that have beat life, then you're gonna be one of those that beat life. But you've got to make that first step. And
That's
so
it.
you've heard from Tequila, you heard her, you know me. Again, if you want more information about what it is that we do, look, go to us on social media. Hey, say, hey, look at here. When can we have lunch? Can we sit down and do this, that, and the other? And I promise you, we'll set up that time. Again, if you're in the Memphis area, guess what you can do? You can come to the office. Hey, you get what I'm saying? We're right over here off of 417 and Winchester.
Yeah.
So again, over here in the good side of town, so you ain't necessarily got to bring your strap over here. But again, just saying, we're super excited about doing this. And again, as we always say, there was a lot of knowledge that was shared here, but knowledge is not power until it's applied. You've got to do something too. You can have an 18-wheeler truck full of gas ready to go, but until you put it in gear, it's not going anywhere. And so don't allow this knowledge that we share to get in your head, but you not go anywhere. It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. We love you so much. Thank you for those that have listened. Pray that you'll like, share, and tell somebody else about it. Y'all have a great day. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Take care.